Okay guys, I got Eddie with me and you're gonna hear me talk with the lisp today because I'm missing 2 front teeth. My own dog, God bless his heart, out of accident, jumped up. I was going down at the same time and bam, there goes my 2 front teeth. So by next week I'll have new teeth, but till then, excuse my lisp. Okay, we're gonna focus on Eddie now. We're gonna talk a little bit about the e-collar and what it does and how to use it, okay? So, you've been watching his awesome progress. Gosh, I'm so conscious about the lisp. You guys have been watching his progress. So, it's happening because we can make effective communication happen at all times. Especially because in those moments, all those training days, he's been spending it all on a leash. This leash. So when he did something good, I can tell him good boy and reward good behavior, which makes good behavior more likely to be repeated. And then when he made negative behaviors, I gave him the proper feedback and he was able to adjust and reduce the amount of times he did that negative behavior. So altogether, based on our communication system, which existed through the leash, we were able to turn him into almost another dog, right? So if only we can maintain the same amount of communication when he was without a leash, yeah, then we would be able to maintain the same behaviors and all that other stuff. So that's where the e-collar comes in. The e-collar is just your, there's several ways to look at it, but for the sake of simplicity, let's start with the idea that the e-collar is just an off-leash leash. Just like we showed with the leash, I want a loose leash. Most of the time the leash is not doing anything. Then if I do a bump, that should signify to the dog, when you feel the bump, turn around, look at me, I'm calling for your attention, right? And otherwise we could use it as a correction and other things too. But most of the time I am using the bump to get the dog's attention and away from wherever he was going and back towards me. This is the same idea with the e-collar. Let's say I was gonna call him over to me and he's into like looking at a squirrel or something. Well, he's in that fixated zone. We need a way to reach out and break the fixation, touch him on the shoulder, and then have him turn around, and then we can say, come, you know? And we have a way to reach out and give the bumps without actually having to have the leash on. Now, just like when the leash is in your hand, you can vary the power level, right? Like if it's a Rottweiler and he's really fixated, you're gonna have to go a little bit harder than you do with him and if he's fixated, right? Well, actually, he's pretty stubborn sometimes too, so don't let that small size fool you, you know? But the point is, you could vary the amount of power that goes in through the leash to gauge if it's a library, you need a little slight touch. If you're at a football game, you might have to go crazy, you know? So it just depends on the scenario and the stimulation load, gosh. Anyways, I'm not gonna watch this video back. I'm gonna continue though. So, going back to the e-collar thing, it's the same way. Right now, his operation level is like at a level 5 or a level 6. Like it's so easy for him to feel it. And then if he gets a little heightened in stimulation, like he's really into something or he's looking at something like a squirrel or another dog, then it's a different level that you guys need to go to. But today, for today's sake, I just wanted you guys to understand, like mentally, like, okay, the e-collar, what is its job? What is its purpose? So then when he goes home and he's fully trained to it, what you guys gonna be able to do is when he's running around in the living room or whatever, let's say somebody comes to the door and he barks and he wants to charge at the door or whatever, he's excited, wants to jump. What we want instead is, hey buddy, let's go and lay down on the place bed. But if he's too rowdy and he's too fixated, you can't reach out and touch him, you can't get his attention, then you can use the e-collar. When you say his name, you can say, hey bud, tap him on the shoulder with the e-collar and see if that gets his attention. If that level doesn't work, this is where we'll go from level 6 to level like 7, you know, and a little higher incrementally if he doesn't respond to the lowest touch. Now, once he responds, your job is to be like, hey buddy, come on over, go place, and leave him there, reward him, etc. You know, we'll go over all that. But the idea is that we can use the e-collar in scenarios to adjust his behavior, get him to listen, get him to focus, so on and so on. He is on a, what I call a micro educator. We have a mini and a micro educator. Now the micro educator is like half the power of the mini. So I don't even know if most people can feel level 5 or 6, but I'll go over it with you guys on Friday when you guys come. All right, I'm gonna shut up. I'm talking too much with this list. But anyways, hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. If you don't, message me right away, okay? All right, talk to you soon.